Well, greetings to you, and thank you for joining me for our daily walk. And it's good to have you with me on this little bit warmer of a day there, and just a little bit slick out there earlier today. But it's good to join you as we walk through the scriptures on this our daily walk. Hit that share button, comment throughout, and let's go ahead and begin. Today is Wednesday. January the 7th, and I'm so thankful that you can be here for this. And so let's look at it here. Job chapter number 4, Job chapter number 4, and join me in verse number 1. We're going to look at several chapters here today. Job 4 and verse number 1. The Bible says, Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, this is one of Job's friends who is now chiming in response to what Job has stated in the previous chapter. Verse number 2, If we essay to commune with thee, wilt thou be grieved? But who can withhold himself from speaking? Behold, thou hast instructed many, and thou hast strengthened the weak hands. Thy words have upholden him that was falling, and thou hast strengthened the feeble knees. But now it is come unto thee, and thou faintest. It troubleth thee, and thou art troubled. Is not this thy fear, thy confidence, thy hope, and the uprightness of thy ways? Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. By the blast of God they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. The roaring of the lion and the voice of the fierce lion and the teeth of the young lions are broken, and the old lion perisheth for lack of prey, and the stout lion's whelps are scattered abroad. Now a thing was secretly brought to me, and mine ear received a little thereof. In thoughts from the visions of the night, when deep sleep falleth on men, fear came upon me, and trembling which made all my bones to shake. Then a spirit passed before my face. The hair of my flesh stood up. It stood still, but I could not discern the form thereof. An image was before mine eyes. There was silence, and I heard a voice saying, Shall mortal man be more just than God? Shall a man be more pure than his Maker? Behold, he put no trust in his servants, and his angels he charged with folly. How much less in them that dwell in houses of clay, whose foundation is in the dust, which are crushed before the moth. They are destroyed from morning to evening. They perish forever, without any regarding it. Doth not their excellency, which is in them, go away? They die even without wisdom. And here Eliphaz, and just kind of pause for a moment, here Eliphaz, early in chapter number 4, says to Job, Job, you used to be the one that used to encourage people that were going through difficulty, and now it's you, and you aren't handling this very well, Eliphaz says. And then Eliphaz really kind of stating to Job, saying, Job, do you know more than God? Are you wiser than God? Are you more pure than your Maker, he says? And are you more just than God? And really questioning Job's defense of himself. Now, let's look at chapter 5. Call now, if there be any that will answer thee, and to which of the saints wilt thou turn? For wrath killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one. I have seen the foolish taking root, but suddenly I cursed his habitation. His children are far from safety, and they are crushed in the gate. Neither is there any to deliver them. Whose harvest the hungry eateth up, and taketh it even out of the thorns, and the robber swalloweth up their substance. Although affliction cometh not forth of the dust, neither doth trouble spring out of the ground. Yet man is born into trouble, as the sparks fly upward. I would seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause, which doeth great things and unsearchable, marvelous things without number, who giveth rain upon the earth and sendeth waters upon the fields, to set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as in the night. But he saveth the poor from the sword. From their mouth and from the hand of the mighty. So the poor hath hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Therefore, despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. For he maketh sore and bindeth up, he woundeth, and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation, and shalt not sin. Thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great, and thine offspring as the grass of the earth. Thou shalt come to thy grave in a full age, like as a shock of corn cometh in his season. Lo this, we have searched it, so it is. Hear it, and know thou it for thy good. And we note here Eliphaz once again to Job. Job, you just need to take this correction that's coming from God. Take it, learn from it, grow from it, and then everything's going to work out okay. And then he makes several statements here. He says, in famine, he shall redeem thee from death, in war from the power of the sword, and so on. I don't want to get all the way back into it, but note this. You're just saying, hey, if you just confess, get right, and rejoice in the chastisement that you're getting, and everything's going to work out okay. Hey, we know famine comes, and what happens? People die. War comes, what happens? People die, and so on. And so let's look at what Job has to say now in response. Look at it, Job chapter number 6. But Job answered and said, "Oh, that my grief were thoroughly weighed, and my calamity laid in the balances together. For now it would be heavier than the sand of the sea. Therefore my words are swallowed up. For the arrows of the Almighty are within me, the poison whereof drinketh up my spirit. The terrors of God do set themselves in array against me. Doth the wild ass bray when he hath grass, or loweth the ox over his fodder? Can that which is unsavory be eaten without salt, or is there any taste in the white of an egg? The things that my soul refused to touch are my sorrowful meat. Oh, that I might have my requests, and that God would grant me the thing that I long for. Even that it would please God to destroy me, that he would let loose his hand and cut me off. Then should I have my comfort, yea, I would harden myself in sorrow, let him not spare, for I have not concealed the words of the Holy One. What is my strength that I should hope? And what is my end that I should prolong my life? Is my strength the strength of stones, or is my flesh of brass? Is not my help in me, and is wisdom driven quite from me? To him that is afflicted, pity should be showed from his friend, for he forsaketh the fear of the Almighty," calling out Eliphaz there. "My brethren have dealt deceitfully as a brook, and as the stream of brooks they pass away, which are blackish by reason of the ice, and wherein the snow is hid. What time they wax warm, they vanish. When it is hot, they are consumed out of their place. The paths of their way are turned aside. They go to nothing and perish. The troops of Tema looked. The companies of Sheba waited for them. They were confounded because they had hoped. They came thither and were ashamed. For now ye are nothing. Ye see my casting down and are afraid. Did I say, bring unto me, or give a reward for me of your substance, or deliver me from the enemy's hand, or redeem me from the hand of the Almighty? Teach me, and I will hold my tongue, and cause me to understand wherein I have erred. How forcible are right words, but what doth your arguing reprove? Do ye imagine to reprove words in the speeches of one that is desperate, which are as wind? Yea, ye overwhelm the fatherless, and ye dig a pit for your friend. Now therefore be content. Look upon me, for it is evident unto you if I lie. Return, I pray you. Let it not be iniquity. Yea, return again. My righteousness is in it. Is there iniquity in my tongue? Cannot my taste discern perverse things? Chapter 7. Is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? Are not his days also like the days of a hireling? As a servant earnestly desireth the shadow, and as a hireling looketh for the reward of his work, so am I made to possess months of vanity, and wearisome nights are appointed to me. When I lie down, I say, when shall I rise and the night be gone? And I am full of tossings to and fro unto the dawning of the day. My flesh is clothed with worms and clods of dust. My skin is broken and become loathsome. My days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle and are spent without hope. He's saying here his days are not swift. We know he is in much pain and he has no hope. Oh, remember that my life is wind. Mine eye shall no more see good. The eye of him that hath seen me shall see me no more. Thine eyes are upon me, and I am not. Excuse me, as the cloud is consumed and vanisheth away, so he that goeth down to the grave shall come up no more. He shall return no more to his house. Neither shall his place know him any more. Therefore I will not refrain my mouth. I will speak in the anguish of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul. Am I a sea or a whale that thou settest a watch over me? When I say my bed shall comfort me, my couch shall ease my complaint. Then thou scarest me with dreams and terrifiest me through visions, so that my soul chooseth strangling and death and rather than my life. I loathe it. I would not live always. Let me alone, for my days are vanity. Job calling on God to leave him alone, to stop this perceived punishment that he is suffering. What is man, that thou shouldest magnify him, and that thou shouldest set thine heart upon him, and that thou shouldest visit him every morning and try him every moment? How long wilt thou not depart from me, nor let me alone till I swallow down my spittle? I have sinned. What shall I do unto thee, O thou preserver of men? Why hast thou set me as a mark against thyself, so that I am a burden to myself? And why dost thou not pardon my transgression and take away mine iniquity? For now shall I sleep in the dust, and thou shalt seek me in the morning, but I shall not be. Job really kind of blaming God, stating, first of all, that, hey, life is short at the early part of chapter number 7, and then saying, God, let me alone. God, please stop and don't allow this in my life. So we see really the difficulty that Job is experiencing. Back in chapter number 6, Job kind of going after his friends a little bit and defending himself and saying, guys, hey, you need to show pity. I don't have any control over this, he says, and he said that he hasn't sinned or done anything wrong. And I know that in verse number 20 of chapter 7, he says, I have sinned, God knowing his heart and God knowing if he's committed any sin that he's not aware of. God knows it, and Job stating that. And so as we walk through the book of Job, just know the difficulty and challenges that Job has. Learn a few things. Hey, life is short. We need to trust God in all things, even in our trials and difficulties. And with that, we're going to close today. Tomorrow, we'll look at another one of Job's friends that is going to speak up, his name being Bildad, and we'll note that tomorrow. Would encourage you, if you can, make your way out to church tonight at 6 o'clock. Our rock ministry, our kids ministry is going to resume, and so we'd love to have your young people out for that. And then join us as we continue our study through the book of Job. Right now we're reading through it, but we're going to study through the book of Job, continue that even tonight. And we've got someone saying hi here. Say hi to everybody. And her baby's with her as well. Thank you for joining me on our daily walk through the scriptures. Trust that it was a blessing, and look forward to our next time together. Lord willing, we'll look at it, be back at it tomorrow. Hope to see you in church tonight.